used to always say, "El vago trabaja doble." You know what I mean? The lazy one.
Yeah, yes, sir. I respect that. Yeah.
And we're already rolling here. It's me. It's that wrestling dude. I'm here with the redheaded Ginger Spice. What up?
What's happening? The co-host with the most, baby.
And here with Battlestar Star champion, Pride of Wrestling champion, the Authority, Eddie Taurus. Man, welcome.
I appreciate it. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me. I'll clap for myself too. All right.
Jump right in there, man. Tell the folks how long you've been doing this. Who trained you? Where you based out of?
Been doing it for 20, going on 23 years in October. Started in Tampa. Trained with Steve Kern and Jimmy Del Rey of the School of Hard Knocks in 2001. Debuted it in wrestling, and my wrestling debut was in Florida as well, Zephyr Hills, Florida, actually in 2001, and been going strong ever since.
Who was some of them first promotions back then in 2001 that you were running through? Because I know CCW's been around, what, 18 years, going on 20 or something?
So, yeah, some of the promotions out there were like, it was IPW was one of the biggest promotions at the time. FIP just started shortly after that. Full Impact Pro just started opening up at that time. Then at the time, like I said, it was like wrestling it was like a lot of small promotions running like small little like bars and VFWs and Elks Lodges and stuff like that. A lot of like front yard or back lot like kind of shows, and we used to just real backyard stuff. Like I wouldn't say backyard wrestling, but like back of the house wrestling. And a lot of those guys then from the 90s were like late in their ages, way past their prime, and still trying to hold on to former glories. And not letting some of us young guys kind of work our way up. But IPW was probably the biggest promotion when I was coming in because they had a lot of great people at the time. They had like a local TV access, and back in the day that was a big thing, having local TV access and things like that. It wasn't like now kids got today. I say kids, they have like streaming video services and YouTube. That's the truth, right? Back some of us who remember that, like me, I'm not 43. You know what I mean? So at that time, those people, we used to have to have our VHS tape. DVDs just came into fashion, right? AOL was still going strong. Things like that. Yeah, I say AOL, right? Gotta get that disc to upgrade the disc.
Good memories, man. Good memories.
Listen. I was pulling those chat rooms. Anonymous as hell.
Game, baby.
Oh yeah, that was the early days of catfishing. If you don't recognize it, but yeah, that was kind of how it went. but yeah, that's how it was back in the day, man. And then but I got to meet a lot of the great wrestlers, a lot of great people that came up with, man, that actually did big things. And I don't name drop, but there are a couple of guys that made it to the big leagues and stuff like that. And that I still know today, that I was fortunate enough to be around, because I've been one of those guys that was around when all these guys grew. But at the time, I was a father. I just had a brand new baby boy, and I had a full-time job. I had a family I had to provide for. Like I said to you guys earlier, like whatever, I used to play baseball and sports back in the day, when high school days. So I came from that, come into this world of differences I get to learn. And it's a whole different world. And being part of like independent shows that were big, like IPW at the time, was important, to get that access, but you had to earn everything.
What do you think about
some of the stressors of being because you've done AEW and NXT and stuff like that, TNA, right? So like TV compared to the Old Town.
All right, like the comparison between when I came up, it was right before FCW, so OVW was still going around. OVW was still the developmental area, and then after that was Deep South in Georgia, and then became FCW here in Tampa. Throughout those transitions, it was hard to get anything looked at, right? Early TNA days, I used to remember going up to the Impact Zone in the Universal and trying to get it work, but it wasn't like now where you could just email guys or you could send information in and get inquired. You had to actually physically show up and be ready to do things, compared to like fast forward from my time doing NXT in the late 2000s and then also doing AEW right when COVID was at the point, right? So it's it's different because then it was just much more, you know, you have to just do exactly what you said. You're kind of pushed aside somewhere close. You know, you're hate to use the word segregated, but you are segregated from everyone else. Nowadays, you go in the locker room with these guys. You could co-mingle with somebody. You can see Jake the Snake Roberts walk right past you. You know, like, oh, how you doing? You know what I'm saying? Like now, back in the day, you couldn't do that. You know, there was a large stigma behind like sticking to the rules of wrestling and not being a mark for wrestling. When in reality, man, you know, I think a lot of guys should have just said hi to all these guys. They should have said what's up. They should have took the picture. You know what I mean? They should have took the video. You know what I mean? They should have shook their hands. You know, these are our idols. These are people that we grew up loving watching, right? Why wouldn't we? If we saw them in a restaurant and we weren't wrestlers, why I would say hi to them. I saw Brad Pitt. I'm gonna say what's up. You know what I mean? So I think that's a push through that. You know what I mean? To kind of get to that point. You know, to get to where we're at today. They think that a lot of us older workers made it worse, but no. Reality is we had to fight through that fight to make sure that we could get to that point. Some of us had to work through it and endure that. And some of us didn't like it. And some of us just kind of like, hey, we're going to change it up. We're going to say hi. We're going to take the picture. We're going to contact them. We're going to make our name somehow, some way. You know what I mean? So the transition between like all that from then to now it's night and day, man. And it's so much more open now. But it's also much more demanding now because there's so many wrestlers all want so many spots. There's only so few spots, even though there's so many promotions. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
not counting money being involved, would you rather be on TV or would you rather be indie?
That's a good question. That's a good question. I can't speak for that. I've never been signed. You know what I mean? I can never understand how it is to be a signed wrestler. Now, this is always a debate between guys who have been signed and then guys who have never been signed, right? It's always like, oh, you don't know. But, you know, stripping it back a little bit, we understand the business now. Like those guys are working as independent contractors. They've been doing that for years. So it's no different. Like you know, like working I always compare wrestling to real life. And, you know, I've always chose real life even more over so many opportunities I had and I didn't take. But if I had a choice, I would have loved to have been signed, have guaranteed pay. You know what I mean? To have that contract. But nowadays, there will have to be so many loops and, you know, so many conditions. Because independent wrestling, you can make a lot of money in independent wrestling if you do it consistently, you do it right, and you make your name, right? You know, I know a lot of guys out there that are out there hustling, and they're killing it. And then they would give up an opportunity. Hey, I've been contacted, but I don't think I'm going to do it because I'm getting opportunities in Japan and Mexico and all these other places, right? So, you know, and they have the freedom. No, it's nothing better than being your own boss. And I think being independent wrestling, you're your own boss. You can make your own schedule, you can make your own times. You're just gonna have to stay consistent and relevant. You know what I mean? I could pick my whole schedule. Wrestling is a part-time job for me. Really is. You know what I mean? I make money off of it part-time, and some guys don't do anything with that. And I feel like if I did go on the road more, and I could probably make a full-time job out of it. But you know, I'm also somebody who likes to have kids. I gotta take care of my children. You know what I mean? So that's not guaranteed. You know what I mean? And I also have goals. People have this pretense that they can't do everything at one time. Like you have to stay committed to one thing and move forward. I'm not for that. I only strive off challenges. So I could be an EMS worker. I could be a good father, and I could go out there and be a hell of a wrestler and make my life. You know what I'm saying? And all the other things I like to be involved in, and I can still do it at a high level. It's just about, you know, mindset, and if you're willing to take that sacrifice a few things, but be consistent. And I think independent wrestling gives you opportunity. If you're signed, you're restricted. You have to follow their schedule. You have to follow their mandates. You got to follow all that. So it's a hard. It depends on the individual. You know what I mean? It depends on the individual and what they want. For me, I would love to be signed, but I enjoy being independent. So, you know what I mean? Don't mind my children in the background. So
I thought that were his kids.
They're the only ones that can't get to bow down. You know what I mean? So you know what I mean? Like, I always tell them bow down. They look like I'm crazy. So
that's cool, man. We don't mind.
Yeah, I'm expecting mine to come barreling any minute now. So you're good.
Like I said, I thought they were yours. Yep. Oh no, those are mine too.
So July 13th, CCW goes back to Tampa, Havoc and Hayes, Magnanimous Brewing. For the people that haven't been out to the shows, what are they missing? Why should they get out to those shows?
Man, they're missing. Tampa's been missing some good wrestling, man. We get people coming to Tampa. I've been wrestling in Tampa for years and for a long period of time, especially when COVID hit. Recession, then COVID hit. Nobody wants to spend money on the business. And the rest, Tampa is, people don't underestimate the quality of Tampa. Tampa is, it's a small city, but compared to many other, like Miami or Orlando, but still a city. And it gets a lot of tourism around here, and people come through. And it's like we're in the middle of that conduit between Central Florida to South Florida, right? People coming through. So over the years, but Tampa has history. I always tell people Tampa has history from the CWF days and the Grams and the Armory downtown Tampa, and saying that Tampa has been big for, like, Dusty Rhodes made his name down here. You know what I mean? The Kern, Grams, but for us, wrestling is important for Tampa because we have so much entertainment, but we don't have wrestling entertainment. You know what I mean? And I've seen everything in Tampa. So what CCW is producing, like it does in South Florida, like it does in Orlando, like it does in Nashville and everywhere else that CCW is attacking, we bring high quality wrestlers and we bring some big names. As you guys saw, I went one-on-one with QT Marshall, CCW champion. You know what I mean? AEW guy. He I was this close though. You know what I mean? But I had him. But guys like that, you got Danny Burch, you got Gangrel, you got local guys, you got so many mixed crowd of people. So it's a show for everybody, for any type of fan. For AEW, NXT, old school WWE, you're gonna find something there you enjoy. Just gonna have to bring a fan or something and some extra clothes. It's hot.
That was hot as hell there. That's for sure.
It's hot, but you know what? It's only hot because the wrestling is hot. You saw what I did there? You know what I mean? Saw what I did there.
It's in a warehouse.
Well, semantics.
That was good, though. I love the experience. The experience was great, though.
I appreciate that, man. Yeah. I can either admit nor deny that. I'm just gonna think about us, man. I tell you right now, I've never thought about wearing like briefs ever in my life. You know what I mean? Then that moment, I wear shorts. I'm like, I don't have to wear less clothes. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm like, oh, but CCW running every single month, man. Every second Saturday basically of every month, and it's consecutive. And I like working monthly shows like that, man, because it builds a routine, a rapport, and it keeps everyone want to keep coming. Every time, like you guys have seen, every show I've gone, like the first show you guys came on, where great draw. Last show, even hot, still great draw. Next show, even bigger. You know what I mean? And it's crazy because I'm starting to think people like to. I tell people we might as well do a wet T-shirt contest or something because everybody getting wet now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
it's just like live entertainment's hot right now. You know what I mean? Like you could go stream anything you want, and it's not like back in the day where everyone was like at 8 o'clock we're all watching this show at once. Now everybody just watches whatever the hell they want, whenever they want, but everyone's got to travel to this point to go see this, whatever it is, to see something live. And in that moment, we are all caring about just what we're watching live, not the phone, not what's coming out, whatever. It's just focusing on this happening in front of us right now. Big meaty men slapping me.
I'll let you say. I'm not saying that. You say that. I'm gonna. Okay. Well, see, there you go. There you go. Just a podcast, guys. Hello, but whatever.
What do you think? What do you think is reason behind CCW's success like that, to be able to put on consistently a show once a month in a different town, and even now pushing up into Nashville, having shows twice a year up there?
Yeah, they're running and they're running more. I mean, they got a lot of other towns they're going to hit. I mean, they really are pushing the last territory. I got involved with CCW over a year and a half ago, and I was all over Florida. And what I've noticed, what brought me to them was not just the consistency, but also it was one of those things where I've wrestled every major promotion in Florida the last 20 plus years. But CCW was something I never did for other reasons, not necessary. Under other management, like the owner now and management, everybody is different somewhat, but some of them, he wanted more. The owner, Nelio, wanted more. management wanted more, and getting involved with them. Saw the product, I saw the media, the media content they were throwing out there. That goes up to the media people, all the talent they have there, and just the consistency. I think the biggest thing in indie wrestling is if you have to accept some losses to get a lot of wins. So you have to try to branch out. You have to take risks. You have to go ahead and market. You're going to have to do a lot of things. And they market great. They push hard locally. They try to get the name out there, not just online, but in around city. Like, you promote properly too, because no one's going to know you're there unless you promote it, right? You promote it, they will come, right? And it's also utilizing the talent that not only you have on your card, but also the people that live locally in those areas you wrestle at. So like Orlando, Kissimmee they use a good blend of people who live there. Like, I'm a Tampa guy, right? So yeah, I'm in Tampa, right? So, but I get used throughout the whole, because I'm one of their main guys. So I'm using all of it. But that being said, they utilize their local connections as well. And it's just old school way of promoting. I've never seen that happen in a while. And it's the way you're supposed to promote. But now you add internet and social media and all the other outlets are possible. Now you just got a healthy blend of things that could really work for you. And just like I said, consistency, man. When you call yourself the last territory and you're talking about the biggest promotion in the state, I love all the shows I work for, but by volume, you got to give it to them. You know what I mean?
Which been your favorite town to work in? You going to say Tampa? Because you're from there?
What, city?
Yeah, favorite city to work in.
Oh, man. No, I mean, well, not to say, it ain't Tampa. Like, I want to say Texas was one of my favorite places I wrestled at. I think because I like going to cities that don't have, like, the cosplay show I'm involved with as well. Those are not regular fans. Those people don't know me. I like going to places that people don't know me or have any rapport about what I do or just the type of wrestling we do, and change their minds, make that everlasting impression. And I love that. Texas was one of those things where I did that a year and a half ago, and I'm going back soon actually as well. Kings of Sports Championship Wrestling out there. It's a big promotion. And it's like,
Where in Texas?
What you said?
Where in Texas?
Oh, it's like outside Dallas. Yes, it's outside Dallas. Like, they do multiple shows in different cities outside Texas, like Yantis and Sulphur Springs they call it, or something like that. Like, I wrestled in Yantis, which is, I didn't even know what the hell Yantis was, but I'm like, okay. I mean, there's like 300 people there. I'm like, okay, there's people here in good old Yantis, Texas, right? And but I that's an example. Like, wrestling Columbus or Raleigh or Richmond or different cities, or going out to like Mississippi. I wrestled Mississippi for another show a while back, and man, some backwoods people out there, but they love wrestling. They love it. You know what I mean? I'm not talking ill of them, but they love wrestling, and I can't complain. I love those type of cities. So it's hard to say a favorite, but if I had to say a favorite, I'm gonna have to give my most recent favorite. It got to be Texas. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So who would you say, in regards to speaking about favorites, then, that when you see your name on the card next to there, they're like, oh, tonight's going to be an easy night. You know what I mean? Good breeze, good match, the old shoe.
Me. You see my name on there, it's going to be a night. Everybody know. Man, see, that's I'm old school, man. So to give that type of love, it's hard. You know what I mean? It's hard. Not only because there's a lot of great guys on the cards that I'm involved with that do a lot of. You guys are gonna go on the journey with me, so don't mind me. That do a lot of good work. That deserve praise for their hard work and everything like that. So there's a great talent. So I feel like if I name one guy, I'm gonna have to name them all, and I don't want to do that. So, yeah. So not to evade that question, but it's also not very, very heelish of me to go ahead and praise guys. You know what I mean? Can't do it.
I agree.
Thank you.
Who do you love to whip their ass?
Well, who loves to whip my ass?
No, when you're gonna bet in the ring, you're like, man, I just love whipping this person's ass.
Oh, Cha Charlie is love it. Love it. I can't wait. Cha Charlie. There's a lot of guys I like to whip. You know what I mean? I mean, that's just nonstop. Ariel Dominguez. You guys weren't there for that one. I used to throw him around like a rag doll. Let me see. I mean, just so many people, man. You know what I'm saying? Like this. You know, I've just gotten away with beating up Ray Fury, another one. I like throwing him around. You know what I mean? And that's what I do. I say, hey, you know, make it easy for guys. I always find it to where I'm the kind of wrestler that guys like those guys benefit from. You know what I mean? Because I'm exactly opposite of all of them. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna come at you and do dances and be colorful. I try to be exactly what I am. Some people say I have a Messiah complex. I'm not denying it. You know what I mean? So
you don't even let the people know that you're Rican, man.
Well, and I'm Puerto Rican. That's it. That's how we do it.
You don't even let the people know.
I gotta make sure everyone knows. Exactly. It's day one, brother. Day one.
Speaking of
the photographer from Golpe Limpio had to tell me you were Rican.
I said I do. I know. See, I gotta put that part of my gear like Damian Priest does. You know what I mean? Put something on me. You know what I mean? Gotta put something on me.
Booing you. I would have been all over Cha-Cha the other night if I didn't know you were Rican. But then you know that I gotta stay quiet. You know what I mean? Let my wife cheer for Cha-Cha.
Yeah, you know what? He's Dominican. You don't want to deal with him. You know what I mean?
Well, you know what I mean. Usually, I try not to hold on to that hate anymore. You know what I mean? We're trying to be unified. I'm a unity person. You know what I mean? Pero entiendo que tú sabes that Puerto Rican Dominican beef. Okay, so always. So hold on tight.
We can talk about that after the show. Then quietly, there are we?
Speaking of Cha Charlie, July 12th, Concord Kissimmee, 25. The Authority Eddie Taurus, Alchemist David Mercury, Cha Charlie, three-way dance. How do you prepare for something like that, knowing those two guys probably hate your guts?
Well, you know what? And the thing is that people don't realize that, and this is why I always give it up to Dr. Christopher. Gotta give a shout out to my dude, Dr. Eric Christopher. I wouldn't do anything without my associate, my executor. I gotta give credit to him, man. It's my dude. He does everything for me. He does all the strategy for me. I can do less work because he's by my side coming up with these masterful plans. But to be real with you, I have something going on with David Mercury, as you guys saw. He got in my business. He had to learn the hard way, plus his little friend. Cha Charlie, last match, he cost me the match with Cha at Kissimmee. So, but people don't realize that him and Cha have history. I'm gonna put it out there. Cha winning the CCW championship years ago was against David Mercury. Plot thickens, right? So my job is how I defend about that. Listen, divide and conquer, brother. Divide and conquer. That's it. That's what I did when I became the Pride of Wrestling heavyweight champion. Divide, conquer. That's it.
Nice. Speaking of Pride of Wrestling Championship, last month you beat Mike Orlando with beating his year-long streak as champion. What's
year-long? Yeah.
What's POW?
The streak is over. The streak is over. It's over. It only makes sense, He could go ahead and he could go off to obscurity now. This whole year, I've been dealing with Mike Orlando being the Green Machine and all his successes and fun times. But, if you take your mind off the prize, man, like Kakoa coming in there and never being involved, they thought they had one up on me, but they keep forgetting that I'm not by myself. I have Dr. Eric Christopher. I have their friction and just worked it out. So I knew exactly when we walk in there that I was going to walk out of there the champion. It's just getting to that point, and we got to that point, as you all know. Now I'm the man.
Yep.
That's it. Thank you. Thank you. See, I appreciate that.
Now
it keeps on top, baby.
Yes, sir. And it keeps rolling to you for July 21st, Pro Wrestling Action out in Sanford, defending your All-Star Championship against the guy who said you love throwing around. Ray Fury himself.
Oh, yeah. I mean, me and Ray Fury, I beat Ray Fury twice already. Twice. I beat him a year ago at the very same show we're going to be facing. My debut, I beat him. And then for the championship, I went against him and Simon Says in the triple threat. I'll be killing the triple threats, as you guys know. And and I won a title from him. I just don't put you. You're just causing a problem. You got to focus on me because you take the focus off, you're gonna lose. And I beat him. I pinned him for the title also. So people always say, "Oh, well, you know, third time's a charm." We live in reality, man. I'm too strong. I'm too set in my ways. I'm too good. Ray Fury is a young. He loves the fans. He's a mass wrestler. Everybody likes that stuff. And, you know, people don't pay attention to the fact that to my authoritative ways. I always tell people that. And again, Dr. Eric Christopher again. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to wrestling Ray Fury, but I'm also looking at making that 3-0 for Ray Fury because, I mean, come on, man. I'm doing too good right now. Like, I'm running on yeah, that's it, man. Like, I think the whole state needs to understand. Like, everyone needs to understand when when they're gonna go against me, the authority is not a name; it's the truth. You know what I mean? It's the truth. You guys seen it? You know, win, lose, or draw, I find a way. I find a way.
We prefer winning.
Because I'm Puerto Rican, I'm Boricua. Hey,
baby, Puerto Ricans on top.
That's it, brother. That's it.
Puerto Ricans lift each other up, baby.
Yeah, us day walkers gotta stick together, okay?
You know it,
gotta stick together. Us day walkers gotta stick together. I see. This is why I don't
easily accept it.
Yes, exactly. Us, you know, that's what I'm saying. Like us, light-skinned, light-haired. I don't got no hair, but it's there somewhere. But you know what I mean. We get chastised for not being Puerto Rican. Hey, you know what? Whatever. Vete pa' carajo, as we say. Thank you. See?
Yeah.
That's why I did your podcast, is because you guys recognize, man. I don't care about everybody else on podcasts. They go somewhere with that.
Oh, man, we appreciate it.
It's all respect, man. It's all respect.
What's the authority have in store for the rest of 2024? What you got up your sleeves?
Oh, brother. Oh, man. Guys, I surprised myself. You know, Dr. Eric Christopher and myself, you know, we work together hand in hand. We got a lot of good things coming up on, of course, CCW stuff. But, you know, as you see, the Pride of Wrestling heavyweight champion now. So I'm locked in for all of that, you know. But the problem is I don't kiss babies and shake hands. I don't expect everyone to bow. It's not hard to ask. Simple. Humble yourself, right? But I've got some other stuff work in play, man. Like I don't like to say things in advance, but I'm going to branch out of state a little bit. I have some other prospect shows looking to get into outside of Florida. Looking to get back to Texas myself. I got the cosplay shows coming up at the end of July. I'm going back to do the cosplay wrestling out in Raleigh for GalaxyCon. Be out there for 4 days. And yeah, man, it's been yeah, no worries.
Can I still wave the Puerto Rican flag if you're playing as Kingpin?
I'll give you love. You know what I mean? I'll give you love. You know what I mean? I'll give you a weapon or something like that. Like,
you know, a big cosplay person myself. I'm covered in superhero tattoos and stuff.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay.
Cool. I know you're there. You know, I got to come and represent, and we got to come and yell for you always. You know what I mean?
I hear you. Appreciate that. I appreciate it. I'm a big, like I said, cosplay shows, like, they take up a majority of my schedule. So, like, for instance, every day you're wrestling, every day. Yeah, because, I mean, like, I'm out there for 4 days. I leave the shows Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. They do shows every day at prime time hours. So you're wrestling every day, you know, and amongst that, you're doing multiple other things. You know, you're doing, prior to that, you're doing, like, little segments and stuff, like segments, like panels and things like that. Like they have like the dating game with heroes. So like you're going to dating game against me, Shocker, Dr. Octopus, whoever, you know what I mean? It's fun, you know what I mean? Then you have they have a bunch of little things that they do. It's all encompassing. Those are my people. I'm a big comic book fan. I love comic books. Like also, I'm all about that TVs. I'm a product of a single mother, man. Like, so I watch TV all the time, collect comic books. I did all that, right? You know, so my imagination, that's why I think I fed really well into wrestling, because besides sports and athletics, this was the only thing I thought that I could creatively become something and become my own villain. I could become a lively villain, you know what I mean? And as the authority of the character, because that's what it was. You know, you kind of get to be this person. Cosplay wrestling helps bridge that. And associates a lot of cosplay stuff to what I do in the professional wrestling scene or independent scene every day. And it's not easy wearing a suit every day. I'm gonna be Wilson Fisk, you know, but I enjoy it. You know, I mean, it's fun. I love wrestling. You know, I wouldn't do this if I didn't love wrestling. And that's the best part about it. Being cosplay wrestling or independent wrestling, I love wrestling. You know.
I love that, man. I can't believe it takes so much time. That's awesome.
That's all good, man. I talk, bro. We're Puerto Rican, man.
No, I was saying that the cosplay show takes so much of your time.
Oh no, it does, because I'm out there for 4 days. So it's like that's a wear and tear of your body, away from your family, stuff like that. You know, you gotta spend all that time. You're not just there just portraying. You're doing a bunch of little things, but it's fun. Like I said, it's fun. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's and again, FS shows back to Florida. So you're gonna see a lot of stuff on there. So, you know, we'll connect. I'll see what I can do for you guys in the future.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, that's all I got for you right now. Ginger Spice, got anything for him?
I got nothing, man. It's been a pleasure. Actually, I do have one more thing. I want to thank you for your service as an EMS, man. Out there doing your thing, man. You know what I mean? Saving lives, being a real hero. You know what I mean? You may be a villain in the ring, but you're a hero in the real world, man. And I appreciate you so much for that, man. My wife is a nurse, and I'm all about the medical field and stuff, because when your mom ain't there to hold your hand when you're crying, it's people like you.
Thanks, man. Hey, I appreciate your wife's service as well, man. I appreciate you guys, man. It's been fun. You know, we'll do this one day. You know what I mean?
Go ahead, get your shit in, though. Where can they find you? Where can they buy your shit at? Where you at on the socials? Get it all out right now.
Yes, sir. Hey, you guys, everybody can check out The Authority Eddie Taurus at Facebook, at The Authority Eddie Taurus all together. I got my own separate page. You can find me on Twitter, Eddie Taurus, all one, all together. Instagram, Eddie_Taurus. I've been trying to boost up my YouTube. So again, all together at The Authority Eddie Taurus. Also check out, I got a brand new shirt on Pro Wrestling Tees. You know what I mean? You know, so, you know, just check that out. I have a link on that on my Instagram page. And also check out Dr. Eric Christopher, my executor. Check out his stuff, his socials, everything like that, because I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing and being so great at what I do if it wasn't for him. Above that, hey, and also represent Puerto Rico, because that's how we do it. Okay? Puerto Rico, everybody!
Go ahead, Ginger Spice, get your shit in.
That's it, baby. I ain't got no shit to get in, baby. That's just me. Ginger Spice, like and subscribe.
That wrestling dude, DOOD on everything. Appreciate you for tuning in. Like and subscribe. Go check out Eddie, man. Thank you again. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it, guys. Have a good one.
You too. Thank you.
You too, man.